All right, if you don't like the Absolute Universe by now, you need to be locked up in Arkham because, bro, I genuinely don't think DC knows how to mess with this universe. And if you think I'm gassing it up, well, I am. But still, if you don't agree with me, wait to the end of this video because if this new Absolute Evil one shot doesn't pique your curiosity even a bit, you must hate peak fiction. I'm not gonna lie. So, to be fair, there wasn't really any action, but that shouldn't really matter because this entire issue felt like the Reverie arc for all of my One Piece fans out there. We got to see all the biggest villains of the Absolute Universe so far team up to discuss how the hell are they going to deal with the rise of these new heroes. Something that I love is that they mention heroes or super people have existed for years. This isn't something new, and they aren't really surprised. They show that there's the OG Sandman going around doing things, and other members of the Justice Society in this universe, and they all have either died tragically or kind of died, doing their own thing, but they were never really big threats to ever deemed necessary to kind of confront or even care about. So they were all pretty easy to just get knocked off or forgotten about while the villains continue to do their own thing. But now these heroes are starting to pop up every day and causing mayhem. You got Absolute Superman running around in Brazil and all other parts of South America, just causing, havoc to the whole Lazarus Corporation. Then you got, of course, Batman and Gotham kind of just terrorizing the streets and become like a mythological creature. Heck, they're not even sure if he's human or not. The threat that they mentioned the most was Wonder Woman, because her being there not only confirmed, of course, the supernatural exists, but also the fact that hell is a thing. And not only is Wonder Woman herself a possible threat, but whoever else resides in hell, whatever other threats are out there. So they're like, look, she was powerful enough to defeat this creature that we don't even know we could beat, and she beat it on her own. And not only that, she got the U.S. government and the other world governments on her side during her interaction, and they listen to her in combat. So they're not sure if she has some type of mind control abilities, or if these people genuinely like her, which to them is a lot worse because mind control, it seems like something they can handle. But people actually caring for her as a hero and being on her side is going to create a bigger issue. And that's what I loved about this, because you have to see the villains sit down and actually think things logically. They're not just going out there on their own. Each of these villains are like, yeah, I can handle this hero problem on my own, but why should I? I mean, if we all team up together, we can just work together to take out each of them individually. And I think that goes to show just how, thought out this entire universe is, that they're looking at all the comic book tropes that are out there and deciding, you know what? How can we flip this? But what's worse than a group of supervillains teaming up is the fact that you still haven't hit that like and subscribe button. We're like over a minute into the video right now, so I get it. You need your time. It's cool. But just know, I got my eye on you. Kind of like how Brainiac has been spying on this entire meeting. He's somewhere either in space or even on Earth. I'm not even sure at this point. He's just somewhere around, just keeping tabs on everything. And I think the other villains acknowledge the fact that he's there as well. So it's not like they don't know. I mean, they rely on Brainiac. They know he exists. It's just funny seeing that he's involved in the meeting, but not quite actually in the room. So these villains team up before the heroes do. And I think that's pretty awesome. It goes to show that the heroes, they might know of each other's existence, but they're all so wrapped up in their own stories. I mean, if you've read Absolute Batman, he has no time to be making friends right now. He's going through it. But it's crazy that he's going through all of that, and the villains are somewhere in the background like, look, let this team up to like work together and make their lives even more of a hell than it already is. I mean, in this room, we have Veronica Cale, Thrash, or Ra's al Ghul, whatever you want to go with, Hector Heyman, Dr. Eleanor Thawne, and the elusive, also serious Joker, who everybody in the room respects the most. I think that's really awesome because it just goes to show, of course, the Joker being the most iconic comic book villain of all time, and how this version of Joker is a lot different. I mean, he's called Joker because he's so serious and doesn't laugh or find anything funny. But everything that he says, they all take literal because they know his reputation. This guy doesn't lie. He doesn't mess around. And if he thinks we all need to team up, it's worth looking into. And they don't even know this guy, but his reputation speaks for itself. And I think that's just super awesome. And Hawkman has also been around for years. We come to find out he's been around for a long, long time, but he's also a villain. He's kind of like an underling for these guys, kind of like a little henchman that's going around doing, doing their dirt. And I think that's pretty cool because Hawkman has always been a character who's kind of been sidelining it or kind of in the background of a lot of things, whether it's in the Justice League or just in hero society in general. So it's really cool to see that he is involved. He's still kind of like on the back line, but his origin or his character is a lot different than we know. He's a villain in this time period, so he's not a hero. And it seems like he's not being mind controlled or anything. He's just willingly going with it. So I'm curious to see how the rest of that is going to go, but I think his design is really sleek and awesome. Not too different from his original design, but I think it still works just with this universe, and it doesn't really have to be that much drastic of a difference, honestly. But not only have you seen Hawkman, I mean, the series opens up with Green Arrow making his introduction into the Absolute Universe. And it seems like, based on the dialogue, that he has a very specific villain he's going after, one that might be a bit too realistic for some people, but I think is honestly pretty funny. A type of villain that we can all actually relate to in real life, it portrayed in this comic. But it really is cool to see Oliver Queen back. And in this version, he looks a lot similar to you expect Green Arrow to look. Nothing about him was different. He's in the Arrow Cave, putting in some target practice. And it's just really cool for all the Green Arrow fans out there. For now, I'll get into the rest of that later. But it's cool to see him back. And Joker, like I mentioned, is leading this pack. He has all these supervillains in this room teamed up, and they're all just kind of plodding away, thinking of how are we going to get rid of this hero threat? There's not really a threat at the moment, but why wait until it becomes one? You know, they see the potential that each of these individuals have on their own. And that's where this all comes into Joker revealing he found something that can actually change the reality of the world they're living in, quite literally. He tells them that he's been working on a secret project. And like I said, they all know that Joker is really serious. He's not joking. He's not playing games, even though his name might make it seem like it. So when he tells them this, it sounds outlandish for them to hear, but they 100% believe it because of the source it's coming from. But Joker found the creation of their universe. He found that there's an omega particle. This particle theoretically should not exist. And not only should it not exist, but the attributes of the particle itself doesn't make sense either. This omega particle shows expression and defies all logic and is made from Darkseid. Now, they don't know who Darkseid is or exactly what this omega power is yet, but the fact that Joker, with his Arkham Corporation and all the other corporations he has behind his back, was able to discover this particle and realize that the world they lived in was designed this way purposely is really cool. It goes to show that Darkseid doing things behind the scenes, yes, it affects the main DC universe, but the villains, Joker himself, found out first that no, something's going on. And I found the proof here. And if he somehow finds a way to utilize this omega particle or even come in contact with Darkseid directly, that's the last thing these heroes need. They're already going through the worst right now. Like, literally, nobody is really on the come up right now. They're all struggling. And the villains just seem to be getting upgrade after upgrade after upgrade. I mean, Joker is really just like unstoppable, it seems like. And he just making so much progression without anybody even really knowing about him. But Joker also decides that they should form a league of their own. He believes the people in this room are all important and integral to the foundation of the earth and its plans for the future. And he decides that the villains should become a Justice League, justice for the world that they envision, alongside Hawkman, who is kind of like their henchman, who, by the way, like I mentioned for all the Oliver Queen fans, it looks like it ended shortly because he walks in with Oliver brutally killed, slung over his arm, just going to show like, this is a problem you guys didn't even know about. I went ahead and quenched this before this guy actually made any, progress in whatever he was planning to do. So yeah, he was really short-lived. He didn't really accomplish much. We didn't even see him fight. Who knows? It's comics. Not everyone stays dead, so it could be a possibility that Green Arrow make his return. But the way they've been doing Green Arrow and DC Comics in general lately makes me want to believe that this is a permanent death for him here. And it kind of sucks, but also I found it really funny that they just killed him off screen that easily by Hawkman. So yeah, Joker decides we should be a Justice League. Joker creates the Justice League. The heroes don't even team up. They don't even think about teaming up yet. They haven't even met. The heroes that we know and love have not even met. And the villains are already forming a group to take them down. And not only are these villains just powerful on their own right in terms of abilities and also social status, but they seem to be a part of the government. They're formed with the world governments around them. So it's not like they're really doing anything that they can get in trouble for. So it makes me think, how are these heroes going to actually defeat these guys? And meanwhile, during all of this, Brainiac reaches out to another man he believes can help get rid of the heroes as well, as we're introduced to this universe version of Lex Luthor. Now, Luthor looks a lot different than you might expect. It looks like he's in some type of farmhouse, living in like a rural area. But what's really cool is in this image right here, You can see the Omega symbol forming in the clouds in the background as Lex Luthor is introduced, and it's just really awesome. Just going to show Darkseid's influence, but also kind of show that throughout this entire issue, the Omega particle, Darkseid, all these villains teaming up together, it's just a major, major threat and should not be taken lightly at all. Like I said, this is kind of like the Reverie arc of One Piece. For those who aren't familiar, in that arc, we got a lot of information about the future of where the world is going to be set up. We get to see all the most powerful people in the One Piece world sit together in one room and plan out the course for how the rest of the series should go. And I think that's exactly what they did with this Absolute Evil issue here. And I really enjoyed it. So not only do we have Lex Luthor being introduced, but still I have to reiterate, the heroes don't even realize that they're being plotted against. Batman is doing his own thing. Superman is doing his own thing. Even Flash and Martian Manhunter, they're all kind of separate, doing their own thing, but they're all being individually sought out as like a threat. And if these guys all team up and just go after them together, they don't even have to do it individually. They can be like, hey, how about all of us just get together and just walk up on Superman and just beat the crap out of him? What is he going to do? He can't even expect it. Only what he knows about his race. He doesn't even know about the rest of us probably. And we can all just combine our assets and just get rid of him. And once he's gone, then we work down a list until all these guys are out of the way. And that's really scary. So I'm really curious on how they're going to do it. I mean, Batman can barely beat Bane right now. He's struggling. So just imagine if this version of Ra's al Ghul and Dr. Hammond pulled up on him. I just don't know what he would do at this point. But we're officially at the 1 year mark for the Absolute Universe. And I think this has been nothing but perfection. Comic book perfection written down on a page. Multiple pages. I don't think it's an over-exaggeration to say the Absolute, and gonna give Marvel their credit, the Ultimate Universes have revitalized the comic book genre. And I love this era that we're going towards. I'm seeing so many people, not just creators, but just casual people just going out of their way to search and buy comics, physical comics. Even if they're doing online, they're just going out of their way to read these stories because they're seeing all the hype behind it. And it's just so amazing to see this again in the comic book industry. I haven't seen this in years, probably decades at this point. And just the fact that comics have reached this space, not only on the big screen, but back on the pages as well, where people are finding love and passion for it again, some for the first time. It's just amazing. And I hope we can keep towards this progression. So please, DC and Marvel, do not let me down. Let's keep this shit going. Now, for those of you watching, go ahead and comment down below your favorite thing about the Absolute Universe. And if you still don't enjoy it, and none of the things I said just piqued your interest, well, then just go ahead and say your favorite thing about me. And if you don't like me, just know you're wrong, and we're putting you in Arc M where you belong. But on a serious note, it's Keith here. I appreciate each and every one of you. So thanks for watching, and enjoy the rest of your day.